Good evening. Many of you have come with the same ache that has visited my heart. You have prayed until the syllables feel thin. You have repeated the sacred phrases you were taught. You have lectured the sky and whispered in the dark, and still the room inside seems hollow. God feels distant. The mind, like a fisherman with too much line, casts for more words, better words, louder words. And when the line brings back no fish, you say, I have failed. No, I will help you. I will stand by in consciousness. Listen carefully. Words are auxiliaries. Sometimes words are an interference. When prayer goes quiet, it is not that God has walked out of the room. It is that you have reached the threshold where speech has carried you as far as speech can carry, and now hearing must begin. Be still and know that I am God. Not be noisy and convince. Be still and recognize. Do you see? The silence itself is not the absence of God. The silence is the announcement that you have arrived at the door where God announces himself. Let us set the question that will guide us. What do you do when nothing changes and nothing speaks? You do not scold the silence. You do not inflate the prayer bag with more wind. You do not accuse yourself of unbelief. You recognize a shift. You stand still inside, and you let the next movement be God's. Before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. If the answer precedes the call, your noise can only blur it. If the hearing is God's own, your effort can only tire you. Do you follow that? I am not offering you slogans. I will not tell you when your body aches or your child weeps that a tidy phrase will fix it. I resent it very much when students throw platitudes at suffering. We are not here to make pretty speeches to pain. We are here to cultivate presence. In presence, the least word suffices. My conversation is usually limited to, I will help you. Why? Because I am not trying to make God speak. I am consenting to hear God already speaking within his own creation. If, in this quiet, a tremor of fear says, you have been left, remember the promise, not as a motto, but as a fact dawning, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Elijah did not find God in the wind or the earthquake or the fire, but after the fire, a still, small voice. The stillness is not empty. It is full. It is not barren. It is pregnant. It is the womb where the next step is formed, not by your cleverness, but by Spirit's own impartation. So tonight we will not strive to make prayer loud. We will let it become simple. We will take the hand off the throttle. We will sit in the room where nothing seems to happen and trust that the happening is taking place beneath the noise. I will help you. I will stand by in consciousness. Together we will learn to listen. We proceed. Then, into the reason, the room grows hushed. Words are auxiliaries. They prime the pump. They are not the water. In the early practice, you will find it wise necessary, in fact, to steady the mind by consciously knowing truth. I and the Father are one. The kingdom of God is within you. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. This is the letter. The letter gathers the wandering sheep of thought into a single fold. The mind, accustomed to roaming among appearances, needs a staff. So you take the phrases that are alive to you and you hold them, not to persuade God, but to gather yourself. Do you see? But do not mistake the staff for pasture, nor the pump for the stream. As consciousness ripens, a strange mercy arrives. The syllables thin. The tongue grows quiet. The inner command becomes, be still. Scripture affirms this transition. The letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life. I presume that does not mean the letter is evil. It means the letter has a limit. It carries you to the door. It bows. It steps aside. Then another action, not yours, begins. It is the Spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. The sensation of divine silence often appears precisely when the letter has performed its office. The mind thinks, I have lost the power. No, you have lost pushing. You have gained hearing. In that moment, beware the reflex to recite more loudly. Beware the formula, another affirmation, a brighter sentence, a cleverer arrangement of truth. Pressing words at the threshold is like shouting into the ear you are trying to open. Words at this juncture can become interference. Let them grow small. If one phrase remains, let it be as simple as, Father, thou knowest. Or speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. Then stop, my sheep hear my voice. The end of self-speech is the beginning of inner impartation. Do you follow that? What then is happening? The action has changed hands. I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. At first, you spoke truth to gather the mind. Now truth speaks within you to gather reality. At first, you said God is. Now God, appearing as your very awareness, declares himself, I am. And when God declares, the declaration is its own fulfillment. No argument required. This is why, on this side of the door, your major activity will be receptivity. You will sit, you will consent, and you will know without arranging the knowledge. When the words stop working, it is not a loss of power. It is the invitation to the only power, the Spirit announcing itself where you are, as you are, being what already is. Now we speak of as God is manifest as individual being. That is not poetry. That is ontology. God, the invisible, appears as Son, the visible. I and the Father are one. He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. Do you see? This does not elevate a human personality. It dissolves the sense of a separate self. The quiet you have entered is not a void in which you drift nameless. It is a sanctuary in which your name is spoken rightly. Not Adam hiding in trees, but Christ of God, God appearing as you. Silence does not redefine you. It reveals you without the scaffolding of speech. When the props of phrases are removed, what stands is what always stood. I am. Not the boast of a person, but the presence of God as the center of your being, as your being. When the ear grows still, identity ceases to be a story you recite and becomes a fact you behold. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Notice the order. The pleasure precedes the works. Before Sermon on the Mount, before healing multitudes, the voice identifies itself as you, belovedness first, activity second. Do you follow that? This is the reason the silence cannot hurt you. Method shift. Identity does not. At first you steadied yourself with truth statements. Good. Now you are steadied by truth itself. The same life that breathes, let there be light, breathes as your awareness of being. The Father is not out there. The Father is the life you are. When fear arises in the hush because habit shouts, say something, fix something, do the one radical thing. Look back of the eye. Give not a thought to the face in the mirror or the record of yesterday. Behold the Christ where a struggling self seemed to be. Christ is your name. Christ is the I that he is. In practical terms, this means you need not manufacture worthiness to qualify for impartation. You are not applying for God. God is appearing as you. Therefore, in the chair, in the hospital corridor, at the bedside, do not count sins or merits. Drop the biography. Let the ancient sentence say itself, I and the Father are one. If a phrase remains, let it be as gentle as Father, thou knowest. Then wait, not a person waiting for a deity, but Son resting in Father, knowing all that I have is thine, and therefore all that thou art is mine as me. Carry this recognition into your day. When the phone rings with need, when the bill arrives, when the body reports turmoil, refuse the old identification. Stand in as God the invisible, appearing as the visible individual, identity held steady while techniques come and go. The river flows, whether you describe it or not. Harmony is, life is, love is, I am. By that, I do not mean a sentence to clutch. I mean a self to be. Do you see? Now we take the second word, is. Reality is not a project. Spiritual work is not manufacture. It is recognition. You do not make harmony. You acknowledge harmony. You are not trying to coax life into life, love into love, abundance into abundance. Harmony is, life is, love is, abundance is, omnipresence is, I am. Do you see? This is as factual as arithmetic. You are not trying to make 2 times 2 become 4. You are realizing it is 4. 4 was not created by your declaration. Your declaration merely aligned your awareness with what is always true. Because what already is silence cannot cancel it. Silence can only remove the interference that words sometimes create. Be still and know that I am God. Not be still and create God. Be still and know before Abraham was, I am. That I am is not waiting for your voice to invite it into being. It is presence before thought, before feeling, before sensation. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof. Fullness does not increase when you speak, nor decrease when you are quiet. It is fulfilled, being, unspent, whole, already present at the point of your awareness. Therefore, we shift from fixing appearances to beholding what is, with or without words. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Righteous judgment is recognition. When the sight reports lack, we do not strain to add supply. We recognize is. When the body reports distress, we do not battle a second power. We recognize is. You are never trying to heal somebody. You are always living in the realization of is. In that realization, the action is God's. The impartation is God's. The correction of appearance is the byproduct of presence recognized, not the result of mental wrestling. Let it be practical. The envelope opens with an overdue notice. The heart wants to hurry into words. Stop. Acknowledge. Supply is. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Then rest. No straining for a feeling. No testing the air to see if gooseflesh validates God. In crisis, the senses may be slow, but presence is self-evident before any sensory confirmation. As Paul said, in him we live and move and have our being. We are not trying to enter that being. We are recognizing the ocean while standing in the sea. Now a minute of practice. Sit where you are. Close the door of the senses just a little. Whisper within, once, not many times. God is, harmony is, life is, love is, abundance is, I am. Then drop the words and let the is remain. No effort to feel, no search for a sign. 1 minute consenting to what already is. Do you follow that? If a thought wanders, return once to Father, thou knowest, and release it again. That is enough. In this way, the silence becomes meadow, not desert. It ceases to be the absence of sound and reveals itself as the presence of is. And in due course, without your managing, the is will show forth as fruitage needs met, peace established, health revealed, because truth realized proves itself. Lo, I am with you always. Not will be, not sometimes, is. Stand there. Now we must unmask the ache that whispers, you have been left. Listen closely. That whisper is not truth. It is suggestion. Error is impersonal. Not a person, not a condition, not a power. Merely mesmerism, a universal belief in two powers. A dream thought that pretends God speaks and then stops, draws near and then walks away. With him is an arm of flesh, but with us is the Lord our God. The arm of flesh is nothingness, only the seeming of something in dim light. Do you see? If you grant it person, place, law, or substance, you feed it. If you behold it as hypnotism, it starves. The suggestion comes this way. Once, in prayer, you felt warmth. Now, you feel stone. God used to answer, now heaven is shut. It is always the same story. Presence turned absence, love turned vacancy, guidance turned silence. Name it correctly. This is suggestion. This is not God. This is not you. This has no law to compel it, no mind to drive it, no substance to sustain it. It is only the arm of flesh. Drop it. Illustration helps. In poor light, you mistake a coiled rope for a snake. The heart flares. The muscles tense. You call a friend. You plan a defense. Then someone lifts a lantern. The snake does not slither away. It does not die. There is no battle. The light reveals what always was, a rope. The fear was sincere, yes, but sincerity did not make a serpent. In the same way, the sense of abandonment is the serpent that never was. When the light of his appears, there is nothing to fight, only nothingness to be seen as nothing. God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. Darkness is not a second presence. It is absence of light thinking. Bring light. Do not wrestle shadows. Therefore, do not argue with a silence or with fear. Argument assumes an opponent with substance. You are not drafted into debate. You are called to recognition. When the suggestion rises, midnight, hallway, bedside, turn within once. This is hypnotism. This is the arm of flesh. Nothingness. Then return to is. Be still. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Lo, I am with you always. Do you follow that? Presence is before, during, after any sensation. You are not trying to make presence return. You are consenting to the fact that presence never departed. Here is the key. Without a believer, suggestion cannot operate. Hypnotism requires a subject. Withdraw personhood from the lie. Refuse to be the believer. Give it no host, no history, no biography. Give not a thought to the person or the condition. See, only mesmerism, thought without thinker, claim without claimant, law without lawgiver. Then, quietly, look back of the eye and behold as God appearing as you and rest in his harmony already present. The so-called abandonment will thin like mist before a rising sun, not because you conquered a power, but because light revealed there was none. Do you see? Stand there. Now we must become very practical. How do you know that this silence is spirit and not vacancy? Not by thrill, not by goose flesh, not by a tide of tears. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do you see? We do not grade our realization by devotional intensity, but by fruitage, by your life experience, by the fruitage. If, as you have entered this, quiet appearances begin to yield gently, without strain, then the silence is fertile. If the same mountains keep shouting, if nothing gives way, then you have a question to ask, not in self-accusation, but in sober inquiry. Am I pushing words? Am I riding an emotional jag? Or am I quietly receptive? Fruitage looks like this. A fear that once ran the house now finds no chair to sit in. A bill that promised humiliation meets supply without panic. A body that insisted on its story becomes shy and forgets to complain. A relationship thought impossible bends toward tenderness. Guidance that seemed locked behind iron doors arrives as a single, gentle step taken without argument. Peace that holds under pressure. This is fruitage. The peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Not peace because the wind has ceased, but peace while the wind boasts, and yet it cannot enter you. Do you follow that? If, on the other hand, you find that you have been busy exciting yourself about God, if you have been hammering phrases and calling the noise devotion, stop. Words are auxiliaries. Words sometimes are an interference. The letter primes the pump. It is not the water. An emotional flush is not realization. It can be a pleasant storm. Then the furniture is still out of place when it ends. If the problems are quickly and easily being solved, then there is no question. You are in realization. If not, you may be fooling yourself with sentiment. Return to receptivity. Drop the performance. Whisper once, Father, thou knowest, and listen. Let us conduct a simple audit, impersonal, honest. In the last 7 days, was there more ease or less? Did you find yourself giving up arguments sooner? Did a fear slacken? Did you help someone perhaps only by standing still within and saying, I will help you, and then watching a softening occur? Was there a moment when you could have spoken much, and instead you consented to presence, and something resolved without your hand? One instance of quiet yield is more witness than a month of fervor without change. Keep your report impersonal. Fruitage is the witness, not the ego's pride. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. If the audit reveals scarcity, you do not scold. You correct the method, shorten the speech, lengthen the listening. Give not a thought to the person or the condition. Behold hypnotism as nothingness, and rest in is. A single realized truth, silently received, outworks more than 100 rattled affirmations. My sheep hear my voice. Do you hear the order? Hear, then follow. No parrot. Trust fruitage more than moods. Peace that holds under pressure is fruitage. Guidance that arrives unforced is fruitage. Needs met without theatrics is fruitage. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. When such peace abides, your silence is not empty, it is full. Stand there. Let the results quiet, steady, continuous test and confirm the work. Now let us practice quietly as those who trust that presence precedes our speech. I will help you. Sit as you are, but sit with reverence, feet grounded, spine gentle, hands open in your lap as if nothing is to be held and nothing is to be withheld. Let the breath be as it is. No management, no counting. We are not manufacturing silence. We are consenting to what already is. Be still and know that I am God. Do you see? We begin with one sentence only. Do not embroider it. Do not add to it. Speak it once within, simply. Father, thou art, and I am at rest. Now wait a moment. Feel no need to prove anything. In that single acknowledgement, the door is already ajar. Then, with a little space between each, receive 3 gentle recognitions, no more, no less. First, God appearing as me. Then, after a pause, God is the only is. Then, again, after a pause, I and the Father are one. Now cease the words. Close the book of thought labor and let the Spirit read you. 2 minutes of inner stillness, simply consenting to be heard within. My sheep hear my voice, not because they strain, because they are sheep of this pasture. If there is a movement, let it be only this, an inward leaning like a flower toward light. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. If a thought rises an errand, a fear, a commentary, do not wrestle with it. Label it mesmerism, the arm of flesh, and let it pass as you would a cloud. Give it no host. Give it no argument. Return not to many words, but to one realization. I live, yet not I, Christ liveth my life. Then drop even that and sit again in the presence that is before words. You are not trying to cause God to speak. You are consenting that God, appearing as your awareness, announce himself where you are, as you are, being what already is. If a warmth comes, do not cling. If nothing comes, do not hunger. The fact of is not measured by sensation. Remain simple, undramatic, available. 1 minute more, without agenda. Judge not according to appearance. Judge righteous judgment recognition, not manufacture. Now we close, not with a performance, but with a seal as light as breath. Thank you. I will listen again. When you rise, rise slowly. Do not grab at the world. Let the world be given to you from within. Your guidance will come as a next step, not as a parade. Your peace will hold without your holding it. Do you see? We prime the pump, then let the water flow without our help. When the call comes, midnight, hospital, a child burning with fever, a voice on the line tangled with fear, your first work is to silence the tongue that wants to preach. Do not throw phrases at pain. Do not offer the wounded. There are no accidents in divine mind. That is for your inner room, not for the bedside. My conversation is usually limited to 3 words. I will help you. Speak them once, gently, humanly, and then close the door of self-speech. In need, say little and realize much. Your silent seeing is the ministry. Do you follow that? Within, give not a thought to the person or the condition. Drop the name, the diagnosis, the history. This is the discipline. Your seeing must be single. Look back of the eye and behold the Christ of God where a frightened face seems to be. God is manifest as individual being. God the invisible appears as Son the visible. There is no other identity there to heal or to fix. Thou seest me, thou seest the Father, for I and the Father are one. Let that be the atmosphere of your awareness. Then allow the realization to announce itself. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Say it within once, and then let it say you. Not a mantra repeated to drown out noise, but a recognition that renders noise powerless. Be still and know that I am God. Presence is the action. Presence is the law. Presence corrects appearance by the fact of is, not by argument. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. When you say I will help you to the caller, it is only because I am is helping as you, through you, and as the one before you. Do you see? If fear rises with its parade, pictures, timelines, worst case scenes treated as mesmerism, the arm of flesh, drop it. Return to as and is. God appearing as this one. Harmony is. Life is. Love is. No second power is on the field. Judge not according to appearance. Judge righteous judgment, recognition, not combat. Sit for a moment, even 10 seconds can suffice. Inwardly steadied, outwardly simple. Words are auxiliaries. They would only be an interference now. After the inner seal, speak again, only to arrange practical care. Call the driver, meet at the door, hold a hand, fetch water, keep the ministry inward. Presence does the healing. Your paragraphs do not. If you must speak, let it be as gentle as I am here, or again, I will help you. Then be still. Watch for fruitage. Often you will find that agitation loosens. The impossible softens. A way opens that no planning could contrive. Before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The answer was already present as presence. Do you follow that? This is not passivity. This is pure activity of spirit. Minimal words, maximum presence. You and I are not trying to move God. We are letting God be God as us, where the need announces itself, and the proof will come quietly by your life experience, by the fruitage. Now let us make this simple and livable, a cadence for the whole day. Discipline, yes. Strain, no. This is the rhythm. Prime the pump, then let the water flow. Words are auxiliaries. Use them sparingly to open the gate. Then listen so that God declares God as you. Do you see? Morning first. Before the world rushes in, sit for 3 minutes. 1 minute only of letter. Gentle and exact. Harmony is. Love is. Life is. Abundance is. I and the Father are one. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Then 2 minutes of stillness. No adding. Be still and know that I am God. Let the I that is God announce itself where you are. If a thought rises, call it mesmerism, the arm of flesh, and drop it. Return once to Father, thou knowest, and again to listening. This is priming the pump, then letting the water flow. At meals, do not perform religion. Before the first bite, a brief acknowledgement. Give us this day our daily bread. Meaning, of course, the recognition that supply is not a plea to create it. Whisper within ones. Supply is. Life is. Then be receptive. Eat in peace. You are not charging the food with holiness. You are unseeing the belief in two powers and resting in is. With money, it is the same. Before you open the bill or sign the check, pause. Take no thought for your life. Recognize all sufficiency is. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Then listen 10 seconds. If an adjustment is required, it will be shown as a quiet step, not a scramble. In every encounter, practice sight. Look back of the eye. Unsee human good and human evil to behold the one appearing. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. The friendly smile and the frowning brow are the same invitation to see Christ's identity. He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. Give not a thought to the person or the condition. If someone asks for help, speak only as needed. I will help you, and let the ministry be inward. Presence, not personality. Do you follow that? Evening closes the circle. 5 minutes only. First, a humble ordered by your life experience, by the fruitage. Where was there ease? What solved itself while you were quiet? What protection became obvious in hindsight, a missed turn that spared an accident, a word withheld that kept peace? My peace I give unto you. Note it, not for pride, but for instruction. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. Then note, without scolding, where you forced words, where you preached to yourself when a single acknowledgement and listening would have sufficed. Correct the method in your heart. Fewer words tomorrow, more receptivity. Seal the day with gratitude and a final listening half-minute. Let the night keep you. This is not a lazy man's work, and it is not a noisy man's work. Fidelity without fuss. A simple daily cadence of brief truth and longer listening builds a receptive consciousness. Over days and weeks, you will notice the shift. Less self-declaration, more God declaration. My sheep hear my voice. I live, yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. Do you see? Walk this rhythm, and the water will flow of itself. Now we walk on. Let this be the sentence that keeps your feet. Silence is not God leaving you. It is often God preparing you to hear. The hush that once frightened you becomes holy ground. Take thy shoes from off thy feet. Do you follow that? Our part is not to make a sound louder. Our part is to be less noisy so that the one voice, which is never absent, may be known as the center of us. Hold identity steady under every weather. Storm or blue sky, it is the same fact. God is manifest as individual being. God the invisible appears as Son the visible. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. The pleasure is before the performance. The sonship is before the sentence. When mood swings, do not swing with it. When sensations argue, do not argue back. Look back of the eye and behold as God appearing as you. In that beholding is evident. I and the Father are one. You are not held because of your grip. You are held because oneness is. Refuse the lie of two powers. Name abandonment for what it is, the arm of flesh, mesmerism. Suggestion without law or substance. Drop it. Say within once, not as a charm, but as recognition. This is hypnotism. Nothingness. Then return to is. I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Lo, I am with you alway. Presence does not come and go. Only your willingness to notice seems to. Be still. Notice. Do you see? Let the way be proved, not by fervor, but by fruitage. By your life experience, by the fruitage. If peace holds under pressure, if guidance steps in without parade, if needs meet themselves while you are quiet, then you are on the path. Gratitude closes the loop. In everything give thanks, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory. Gratitude is not ceremony. It is recognition of is fulfilled. Go with one sentence for the road. Carry it as lightly as breath. Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. Speak it once in the morning, once at the gate of any need, once at night, then listen. Lie from listening. Let quiet realization, not effort, carry you and those you love. Walk softly. Listen deeply. Help quietly. My conversation is usually limited to, I will help you. The rest is presence. And when the next hour asks for you, answer inwardly first. Judge not according to the appearance. See through the arm of flesh. Stand in as and rest in is. If words grow few, rejoice. My sheep hear my voice. Do you follow that? Go now, not to make something happen, but to witness what already is. The Lord is your shepherd. You shall not want. Walk on in quiet power.